Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be featuring some battles from POGORAIDS Discord Great League draft. We're going to go ahead and start off with round one. This is from Vibe Guy, who has Defense Deoxys, Wigglytuff, Ferrothorn, Talonflame, Regirock, and Johto Quillfish. That kind of threw me off because I'm used to saying Hisuian Quillfish. Makes sense though. And this was like a 8-person draft or 9-person draft. I can't remember. It was like 7 rounds, 8 rounds. On that one round was included. And this is in a snake format. There's a series of bands, all that good stuff. First round opponent is Basher Bubbles, who has Vigoroth, Jellicent, Lapras, Alolan Marowak, Probopass, and Gliscor. So let's go ahead and get started. And we see Quillfish into Vigoroth. This should be a good match for Quillfish since it does resist. I actually forgot it got Scald. It does resist the counters because of its poison typing, or its poison water. Yes, poison water plus it 1 CMP. But this Body Slam does quite a bit of damage, and we're gonna see the CMP tie on the Aqua Tail. We'll see whether or not they decide to shield. They do not. And here comes Jellicent. Gonna throw the Scald, which is resisted. The Poison thing is also resisted, so this thing's gonna get a very nice farm down. Unfortunately, no debuff there. And we're gonna see Wigglytuff come in. It does double resist the Hex. And we are gonna see this Jelly get... Oh, okay. Interesting matchup here. Regirock and Marowak. Regirock, it's kind of an interesting situation here. Regirock does resist the CMP tie, does resist the fire spins, and gonna no shield, and gonna throw the Stone Edge. Stone Edge probably would one shot at this health range, and we are gonna see Regirock is probably gonna be able to win this matchup. But there is the opportunity to catch, which is good. Would be pretty impactful here. And probably see the shield come up. Almost for sure see the shield come up. Oh, gonna no shield. And then here comes Jelly. And I guess you shield these and farm down. You definitely shield. Shield. Okay, gonna no shield. Okay, I'm actually not sure why there was a no shield there. Because the Surf would certainly do more damage. This is interesting here. Gonna throw the... This is interesting here. Gonna throw the Disarming Voice. This Regirock is gonna need to make it to the Stone Edge. And we will see it just barely survive a Fire Span and make it to the Stone Edge. Very nicely played there. Some unexpected plays, but it worked out in the end. And we're going to see coming with a very similar line, except for leading Wigglytuff. I'm actually going to make this Great League draft thing a little bit smaller here so I can... Actually, I'm going to move over to the side here. And they switch into Vigoroth. And we will likely see a no shield here. But kind of an awkward situation here, just because this Jelly is going to be able to farm this Quillfish all the way down afterwards. So we're probably not going to see a shield, and probably going to do 5 and throw. 1, 2. Oh, going to throw the Scald here. I guess not 5 on the CMP there. They do end up shielding. Shield this. Now they'll do 5 and throw. I miscounted there. And the Aqua Tail almost certainly would KO. Okay, interesting timing. And going to throw the move here. But this Jelly is going to get an insane farm. And we will see how this is going to play out. Likely it's going to be the Marowak in the back. But this Jelly is going to get quite a bit of farm. So this Jelly is going to be very difficult to deal with. Thank goodness the Jelly did not throw. And this puts this Regirock in a pretty good spot. Definitely want to basically throw right before the next Bone Club, which is going to be right here. And we will see whether or not this Marowak will shield or not. They do end up shielding. And they went 1 over. Maybe to throw off the counts. Or maybe to throw the Shadow Bone. And you want to do throw right before the next one. Could have did three more. Oh, okay, actually did not KO. Okay, I'll end up getting the move anyway. So, and this is gonna let this go, and this Wiggly is going to be able to. I don't know why this Wiggly is not throwing the disarming voice here. This is very confusing here. It's certainly in disarming voice range. Gonna throw the icy wind for some reason here. This is a mad BM here. This is definitely gonna win anyways, but this was a mad BM. That was maybe they thought they had a shield still. That was a very risky BM, but it worked out, and we're gonna see Wiggly into Jelly. This is a good lead here, and we see the Vigoroth come in, and we're likely gonna see the Deoxys counter this all the way down. 3 body slams do not KO. Well, they come pretty close here actually. Maybe you're gonna do 4 counters then. Let's see here. Could also. Oh, wait, maybe the 3rd one would KO. So gonna throw the Psycho Boost. I don't like actually throwing the Psycho Boost here. I actually prefer throwing the Thunderbolt. They actually end up shielding. You just shield and counter down now. Yeah, shield and counter down. And then 1 and Thunderbolt it. And maybe you can make it to a Psycho Boost. Probably, I guess this whether or not they get DRE is going to be the. Well, actually, no, going to be able to make it. I already had the Psycho Boost. I don't know what I'm talking about here. And going to be able to make it to another Thunderbolt. It is twice debuffed. It's not going to do that much damage. And we see the Probo Pass come through. It's actually a Spark Probo Pass. Gonna throw the Zap Cannon at this Probo Pass. And we are gonna see whether or not it has. Oh my gosh, they no shielded there. We'll see if it has Magnet Bomb. Oh, it has Thunderbolt here. Interesting, not throwing the Rock Slide. Or the Magnet Bomb. I don't know what moveset it has. It does have Rock Slide here. And gonna throw the Zap Cannon. We'll see whether or not this will get shielded. I'm assuming it will. And gonna let this go, I presume. Yeah, we'll let it go. And attempt to charm this Probo Pass all the way down. And able to farm it all the way down. This Jelly is going absolutely nowhere. And we're gonna throw another Icy Wind at it for some reason. I don't know what the reason is, but we are going to throw it for some reason there. So we are going to go into game number 4, and Vibe Guy is vibing here. We are going to see, into Gliscor. This should be a good matchup, though these wing attacks are doing quite a bit of damage, and they make a beautiful catch onto the Lapras. Gonna go into Ferrothorn. This is actually a water gun. Lapras is actually so terrible for the opponent. Gonna throw the Power Whip at this Lapras. At least Ice Shard would have been neutral here. And gonna get absolutely one-shotted there. And this Power Whip will do quite a bit of damage. Probably doesn't KO at this health range because the Gliscor only took Poison Stings, which didn't do a lot of damage. The Night Slash would not KO. Aerialist would not KO. What has the Earthquake here? They actually end up Night Slashing. Probably will Night Slash again. Tried to went for the Acid Spray. I guess that makes sense because they're going to shield anyways. Maybe shield here and farm down. They Night Slash again. Gonna throw the Stone Edge. And we will see whether or not they decide to shield. They actually do end up deciding to shield. And gonna shield back. They do go for the Earthquake. And we see the Probo Pass coming through. Gonna throw the Zap Cannon. This is gonna be an interesting endgame here. Probo Pass getting debuffed. We will see whether or not. Well, they'll obviously need like 3 charge moves to KO at this point in time. And Interesting. Not going. Very good counting there. Gonna be able to CMP tie on the skull here. And we'll see if this Thunderbolt is going to be enough to KO. It is. They actually undercharge here, but that undercharge is going to be a little bit too much. Gonna throw the. I really like the undercharge there. Not the undercharge, the overfarm there. And gonna be able to lock on down and not even bothering throwing the Stone Edge. This matchup was full of BMs and disrespectful moves, but very nice set. Good way to start the tournament run. Welcome to the second round. This opponent has Alolan Sandslash, Giratina Origin, Tentacool, Greedent, Halucha, and Shiftry. This person said that one other player didn't want their name shown, so I'm hoping it was not the first person, but we will find out. Anyways, I have asked, and I may have to re-record the first one, so these points may not be relevant. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get started with the matchup. We see Greedent into Ferrothorn right away. This Greedent throws on alignment, which allows the Bullet Seed to come through. They throw the Crunch. Interesting timing, and they throw also on. Oh, is this Bullet? Oh, it's Bullet Seed. Wait, no, what? Are they both Bullet Seed? Oh, maybe that's why. Oh yeah, they're both Bullet Seed, so the timing didn't really matter there. Okay, yeah, I'm confused there. Why Bullet Seed over? And gonna go into Talon Flame. Trying to bait out the Tentacool, I guess. They do throw the Crunch again. And, oh, interesting. Maybe anticipate they're going to swap there. Interesting. And throws into the very low HP. Okay, the Tentacool does come through. And going to do 3 and throw, which is good timing. And we'll see whether or not this Talonflame should be able to make it to another one, which is going to be quite nice because this fly is boosted. And they actually chose to double shield. And we will see what they're going to do. Going to throw the Power Whip right away versus the Tentacruel. And we will see probably a no shield here. And the Acid Spray here. And I'm assuming this is going to be another Acid Spray. Can survive this. Or maybe a Scald would KO, to be honest. They actually choose to Acid Spray again. And they make a nice catch onto the Sandslash. But this game should be over because that Power Whip should put it into Stone Edge range, and gonna be able to reach the Stone Edge beforehand, and that does take it out. And this Tentacruel has absolutely no chance. As long as the shield comes up, this should be game over. Even if the shield doesn't come, I think the Ferrothorn would be able to make it to Power Whip anyway. So gonna throw the Stone Edge again at this Tentacruel and win game 1. Interesting. Why Bullet Seed here? I guess for the Quillfish? No. Mud Shot would be better. Not quite sure. Against the Regirock would be the same. I'm not sure, really, to be honest. Why not? I don't know why I removed the name, because the name clearly shows on the thing. It is mostly cool, so I will just go ahead. This is actually a very bad matchup here, but does have access to Flash Cannon, and we will see. Oh, they actually choose the bait here. Oh, it's actually a Dragon Tail Giratina. This is very confusing movesets here. And the Flash Cannon does a tremendous amount of damage. And probably gonna no shield here. This Giratina is like triple good against this team. They actually Ominous Wind again. Gonna throw the Power Whip. This will be enough to KO despite it being resisted. They actually choose the shield and gonna throw another Power Whip. We'll see if this Giratina decides to shield. I'm assuming it does. Actually, I wasn't sure if it was gonna decide to shield or not. And gonna commit to the Flash Cannon. And these trying to poison jab all the way down. Flash Cannon would do a lot of damage. And I don't know if they have anything that hurts here. Aerial Ace, not a big deal. And not going to be able to make it to another move. And we'll see, it is going to be the Sand Slash in the back. This Sand Slash is hurting. That one Incinerate did like 35%. Well, maybe not 35%, but did a tremendous amount of damage. Gonna shield, and that Incinerate is gonna be enough to take out the Sand Slash. And mostly Bert. Says I guess it's mostly. And we see Wiggly into Giratina. That's absolutely terrible for this Giratina. And we see Tentacruel coming. We already know at least it has Acid Spray. This is definitely an Acid Spray. You don't shield this. You do one and throw the Power Whip. Gonna need 2 Power Ups to KO because the Power Whip is only neutral because of the Poison Water typing. They actually choose to shield, but this is okay though. Gonna throw another one. Maybe it's a Hawlucha though, which is would be a huge core breaker. I think you let this go still. And they choose to Scald. Does a tremendous amount of damage. And are we gonna see the switch here? To okay, they actually chose not to shield. I'm assuming they're gonna come in. Curious to see what they come in with. They do come in Giratina. 1 Dragon Tail does KO. And we're going to see the Wiggly trying to fight. It must be the Hawlucha in the back, right? It must be the Hawlucha in the back. This Ominous Wind's going to do no damage. Oh, they actually get the boost, but that actually does not matter. It is the Hawlucha. And not going to throw the Icy Wind for some reason. Maybe you're going to try to poison, trying to charm down. Don't want to reveal the movesets. That's an interesting decision there, and it was successful in the play. Wiggly, huge core breaker, and we'll see whether or not this is enough to scare away the Giratina. And we see Ferrothorn into Greedent. This is an excellent matchup for the Ferrothorn, and we see the Crunch come through. I'm gonna go Flash Cannon. Probably Fast Cannon and Power Up is enough to KO. They should be able to reach it beforehand. And probably going to let this go and farm up a little bit and then throw the Power Whip. Oh, actually going to switch here. Interesting. I like banking the energy here. And they do throw the Crunch. And the debuff does come through. Oh, allows it to reach another move here. It explains why they threw earlier beforehand. And we're going to see the Tentacruel come in. Gonna throw the Fly. We'll see whether or not. And gonna do another one, then throw. Can you reach 3 flies? It almost certainly appears to be the case. And we see another Fly come through. Gonna be able to reach another Fly. Will we see the switch and throwing the Power Whip here? Okay, nope. Not gonna throw. And I'm gonna let this go. This move, there's no move that KOs here. They do throw the Scald. Does a pretty good amount of damage. No debuff there. Probably gonna see the blind switch into. And here comes Hawlucha. Hawlucha is not gonna like the Stone Edge. It is. Well, this is gonna be a flying press. I guess you have to take one anyways. Does a lot of damage. That does a lot of damage. Will you get Poison Jab down? That would be an interesting situation here. Oh man, gonna be able to Poison Jab down. We'll see whether or not this Ferrothorn is going to be able to make it to the move. Gonna shield. We will see whether or not this Hawlucha is not going to be able to make it to another move here, and this Power Up is going to be enough to take out the Hawlucha. A very nice 4-0 win for Vibe Guy, and Vibe Guy is vibing along. All right, we are in the third round. This person has Feraligatr, Golbat, Altaria, Aurorus, Magnezone, and Hypno. So let's go ahead and get started. We see Regirock into Golbat. This is an incredible lead, and this is exactly where we want to see it. They come in Hypno, which is okay. Gonna throw the Stone Edge at good timing. Basically doing one lock on pass because it does take a turn to do the switch. And gonna switch out into Wiggly. There's absolutely no way this Hypno can control switch. So you don't need to shield this. Should be able to farm down after this. and get a very nice farm down. I'm going to be able to get the Icy Wind off on this Golbat. Ideally, you should do 3, then throw, and that results in good timing. Not that the charm damage is like so important here, but as you can see, this charm is chipping away at this Golbat. Good. Oh, interesting. Not waiting to clock out more, because if they have a harder answer, I'm guessing they have Feraligatr. Oh, or maybe they don't. Okay, interesting. They're throwing both moves here, so they must be, maybe they have Aurorus or something. Oh, it's actually Altaria ABA Flyer. Well, it's good that the shield came up there. Gonna throw the Stone Edge and then look to Stone Edge again. Then probably gonna have to swap because I doubt this Original can make it to another one. It's a little bit too risky. And oh, they have Ice Beam here, so this should be game over here. But we're just gonna throw the Aqua Tail, pretending that they don't have Ice Beam. That makes sense too. And gonna attempt to Poison Sting this all the way down. Yeah, gonna Poison Sting all the way down and likely throw the Aqua Tail. Oh, gonna throw the Ice Beam. Okay. And the Ice Beam does KO. It makes sense. Though the Golbat was dry there, right? So, but I guess guaranteeing the win. The Aqua Tail probably does like 40% on Shadow. So this is actually a good lead here, unless it's running Waterfall. Though this Hydro Cannon still hurts. I expect them to throw the Hydro Cannon. Oh, interesting. They threw at 6 there. That was weird. Or 7? 7, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, here comes Magnezone, and this is an awkward matchup between these two. Both of them resisting. Let's see what they decide to throw here. They throw the Mirror Shot. Gonna do 1 and throw the Power Whip. Now this is gonna be a long, drawn-out match, but that's okay. And will they Mirror Shot again, or will they Wild Charge? Doesn't really matter too much. They will end up Wild Charging. And gonna throw the Power Whip at this Magnezone. This should be enough to KO. If they shield, that's fine too. And probably gonna be another Mirror Shot. And it doesn't KO. And okay, gonna switch out into, gonna have to gonna shield this. I guess, does that make sense? I guess we'll find out. I'm going to throw the Icy Wind. I guess you're going to debuff this zone beforehand. And I guess with the Wild Charge, I guess it'll Shadow Feraligatr too, so it probably does pretty similar damage. Well, the Mirror Shot definitely does less. And they do reach another Mirror Shot at 1 HP. Probably going to come in Regirock and lock on down. And we will see what's in the back. It is a Hypno. And we will see if this Hypno has Focus Blast. If it does, it will probably one-shot the Regirock with the confusion damage. But even if it does, they have the Power Whip banked. So it should be... Oh, anyways, they reach a second Stone Edge anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And going to be able to take out the Hypno. Nicely played. Interesting they stayed. Hypno is actually okay against Wiggly. As we're going to see here. These confusions are going to chunk away at the Wigglytuff, but the timing is super awkward. Well, I guess it's 5 is good timing, so I guess it's not that bad. And gonna throw the Disarming Voice because the Icy Wind probably wouldn't KO. Oh, they actually end up shielding here, and they make a beautiful catch onto the Deoxys. But the Deoxys is going to have an interesting time trying to farm down. Oh, they come in with the Golbat. And this is going to be on a CMP tie. But if you shield this and they bait, oh my goodness. Huge call there. But they'll probably do 5. They'll probably shield this. Oh, they actually don't shield it. 5 and then... they actually throw right away. Probably would have did 5 and thrown there just because the counters are double resisted. And allows you to get a little bit more energy, but you come into Regirock and look to lock on this down all the way down. And this should be just a Poison Fang? Yeah, they didn't quite have the energy for it. And we will see the Magnezone come in. Gonna throw the Focus Blast at this Magnezone. They will... Are we gonna see... Can you reach the Focus Blast beforehand? Okay, they come in Hypno. Oh, interesting play. That makes sense too. Gonna have to make a catch here, right? Oh, beautiful catch, but can undercharge here. But probably only 1 Volt Switch will KO. And this Regirock will make it to the Focus Blast. Very nice play. Really, really good play. Had to make the Sack realize that I couldn't just switch into Wiggly. I guess could have came Wiggly and like strategically played it, but that was actually a really excellent play there. All right, we're gonna see Regirock into Feraligatr, really bad lead, and we're gonna see Ferrothorn come through. No answer to Ferrothorn, and they come into Hypno, but Ferrothorn resists. Really good timing, especially on the switch in 4 versus 3. That's actually really nice. And probably going to do 1 and throw. Should be able to control switch. But this Feraligatr is still interesting here. Gonna shield. And then look to throw at this. And then the Hypno is 1 away. 1 confusion away from another Fire Punch. Should be able to control switch. But gonna let it go. Gonna come in Regirock. And they do come in with Feraligatr. You have to shield this. Do you Focus Blast this Feraligatr? I'm assuming you're gonna switch now, because this definitely doesn't KO. But the Focus Blast would have KO'd, but able to get the farm down. We'll see what's in the back. Is it gonna be the zone? It is the zone. It is the zone. This if they get the drop here, this would be pretty huge. But let's see. No drop. I'm gonna throw the Icy Wind. And we will see how this zone is gonna play it out. Gonna come in Hypno. Gonna Fire Punch. Oh, they Shadow Ball here. This is game over here, right? This is definitely game over. Yes, and this is going to be GG. I think this is the first recorded loss here. And is that the 4th game here? I think so, right? Oh, yeah, it is the 4th and final game. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at round number 4. In this 4th round, this opponent has Toxapex, Scrafty, Unova, Stunfisk, Pidgeot, Walrein, and Wormadam Trash. And we're going to see how these two match up in this matchup. And we're going to see Ferrothorn into Unova, Stunfisk. Excellent lead, exactly where you want to see it. And they come into Toxapex. Toxapex is a huge core breaker here. Going to throw the Thunder at this Toxapex. And they will actually end up shielding. And going to let this go. Does not do very much damage. But this Ferrothorn is putting in work versus this Toxapex. Will the Power Whip be enough? I think you have to Thunder it again. Probably going to let this go. And probably do 3 and throw the Thunder. Or, okay, gonna go to 100 here, then throw the Thunder. That makes sense too. They will throw the Thunder. And we will see what's going to come in. It's actually going to be the Pidgeot. And this is interesting here. And they're down 2 shields to 0. You come in Talonflame here. You basically sack the Talonflame. Could shield it, but I don't think there's much point in shielding here. They will Brave Bird. And they do end up catching on Stunfisk. This is actually totally fine though, right? Because you just switch here and then just Charm all the way down. You probably shield once because the Pidgeot's only gonna get 1 move off. Doesn't really matter here. You take the first one here to see how much damage it does, but you probably will have to shield one of them. We'll definitely have to shield one of them. Okay, gonna no shield again. You're gonna have to shield this one here, and then have to throw the Icy Wind at the Pidgeot. They will throw the, and then going to throw the Icy Wind at this Pidgeot, and it's gonna be more than enough to take out. Very nicely played. Pidgeot actually would have been a really difficult switch in, and we will see what the opponent does here. We're going to see Deoxys into Stunfisk. Not a great lead, mostly because the Thunderbolt is triple resisted, so it kind of forces you to Psycho Boost at some point in time. Maybe going to go to 98 energy, I think it is. Nope. Okay, gonna go a little bit less than 98. I guess you don't want to be too predictable. And we will see, gonna switch out. This is a dangerous switch in, but they come in the Walrein. This Ferrothorn is a huge core breaker. I guess they decide not to bring in the Scrafty. And we will see, probably gonna let this go. Does a decent amount of damage. Gonna throw another Power Whip at this Walrein. We'll see if the Walrein decides to shield or not. This probably doesn't KO the Walrein, but probably puts it super low. Do you shield this? This is a lot of health to take out still. Deciding not to shield. Gonna come in. Oh, gonna come in Regirock. And we will see what happens here. I'm gonna throw the Stone Edge at good timing, but this Stunfisk is still pretty dangerous here, and gonna switch and throw the Psycho Boost. They probably survive the Psycho Boost, but will we see the swap out? We will see the swap out, and this is actually looking pretty good for Vibe Guy. Gonna throw the Thunderbolt. It's gonna deal super effective damage, but it is debuffed. But this should be game over here. This Pidgeot's gonna have to throw. Likely this will be a Feather Dance. And will we see the Feather Dance on the Regirock, or will we see a Brave Bird here? That is the question. We will see a Feather Dance. And gonna have to throw at this Pidgeot. Excellent timing. The Stone Edge is gonna be enough. We will honestly, a Stone Edge is definitely enough for the Stunfisk because it is very low. And gonna throw, probably should have Brave Bird, to be honest, because the Stone Edge was gonna KO the Stunfisk regardless there. So, and plus you weren't gonna lock on down, but obviously I'm saying this in hindsight. But Brave Bird through 2 shield would have been pretty crazy, and we're gonna see a terrible lead. We're going to see the switch out. Will they have Toxapex? They will not have Toxapex. So, but this is a Mud Shot variant Stunfisk. I think you let this first one go. And then you do one and throw. This is actually kind of a difficult matchup for this Stunfisk. Definitely no shield the first one, right? And you shield this here. Do one and throw. This person has excellent timing. The next Incinerate, honestly, almost certainly KOs this Stunfisk, so I don't know if it'll shield. Does not shield. This is very terrible for the opponent. Is it going to be the... Oh, it's actually going to be the Walrein here. And going to throw the Fly. That makes more sense because it does do more damage. And we will see whether or not the Walrein actually does end up shielding. We'll see if this Walrein can punch its way through, or head nod its way through this Ferrothorn. But we will see if a switch does come through. A switch does come through, banks the move, and this Wiggly is going to town on this Scrafty, and it is a power-up punch Scrafty, but will it reach another one? It will not reach another one, and this is super terrible for the opponent. Again, I'm assuming you shield this. I guess it doesn't really matter here. You throw the Icy Wind at it. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. Gonna be able to Bullet Seed down and win this matchup. And take out the Walrein. Nicely played, and we're off to the fourth game here despite a terrible lead. Will we see the Toxapex is the question. Running the first line and the third line again, and we will see if this opponent will make the read or if it is okay. Oh, makes a very, let's see here if they make that. Nope. Okay, is this just the same situation as before? Okay, but this time throws it a little bit later. Gonna let this go. Oh, gonna throw right away. Will this make a difference in the matchup? I don't think so. I'm seeing they mud bomb here. Yes. And the mud bomb probably wouldn't have KO'd then, but probably would have got mud shot down. Will shield, and then will try to endure. Let's see if that instant KOs now, right? So it does KO. And gonna go for the fly. What could possibly be in the back? And gonna go into Wiggly. It is the Wormadam trash. But this Wormadam trash, what move does it have that could possibly hurt Ferrothorn? Excellent timing there as well. That was really beautiful timing. Man, this is game over here, right? It's game over. Probably regretting the Bug Buzz. Does a lot of damage, but not quite enough. What's the mud shot for? The Quelf, I don't know what the mud shot is for. And this is probably an Iron Head, I'm assuming they're going to throw here. It's not enough, and I guess it's still alive, but does it really matter here? Because these Wormadam, if I had an Iron Head banked, it might be problematic here, but honestly, it's going to almost certainly get charmed down. There's no way this Wormadam has an Iron Head. Goes for the foul play, and one charm is enough to take out the Wormadam, and I'll be damned. Vibe Guy with another 4-0. All right, we are off to the next round. This opponent has Mantine, Gallade, Diggersby, Dugong, Alolan Raticate, and Arungarigis. And honestly, this Ferrothorn is looking pretty strong here. Obviously, I have to be careful of Diggersby's Fire Punch, I guess. But we're going to see Arungarigis, beautiful lead. It has two answers to this Arungarigis, and this Arungarigis is actually deciding to stay in. I guess they will get the Shadow Ball off first. Probably do about like 50% to this Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is pretty tanky. They actually choose a Sand Tomb here. And going to throw the Power Whip. The Arungarigis has some pretty good bulk to it, so probably will survive this Power Whip. But will end up shielding. Going to throw another one here. Going to look to take both shields. And set up this Wiggly for success. Probably going to see a no shield here. I wouldn't be surprised if they Sand Tombed. They will Sand Tomb, but they're going to have to throw another Sand Tomb. You let this go. And nope, not able to get the move off. Makes sense. And then going to look to farm. Oh, okay. Interesting here. Because this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. But what would they have for the Wiggly, though? I'm curious here how this is going to play out. But this Wiggly is going to get debuffed. And going to throw the Psycho Boost here. And then look to switch to Wiggly as soon as possible. Okay, able to bank it. Okay, you definitely don't shield these Sand Tombs. But they probably will make it to another Sand Tomb, which is going to be a little problematic. Let's see what's in the back. You got to let this go, right? Sand Tomb doesn't do a lot of damage. Okay, going to shield. And it's going to be the Mantine. Going to throw the Icy Wind. And we will see how this is going to play out. Gonna have to shield this, right? Or do you let this go? And gonna be able to make it to the icy wind. Honestly, I almost certainly would have thrown the disarming voice because more damage, but this is enough anyways. And Wiggly, man, Wiggly is actually super strong in this matchup. Probably control switch versus anything. And we're gonna see, probably gonna go Wiggly here. Actually gonna go Fairthorn. Fairthorn makes sense too. Oh my gosh, this is actually such a great, this is a Sand Tomb for sure. Not enough energy for the Shadow Ball. And we will see, whoa, okay, we see a Dugong come in. And probably gonna look to try to CMP tie this Dugong. So I'm guessing gonna do 4 then throw. Yeah, okay, or yeah, it makes sense because they got to sneak in there. Makes sense. Okay, and then probably look to CMP tie it again. They actually go for the drill run, and gonna look to CMP tie it again. Oh, but okay, and then you probably let this go. To be honest, right? Wiggly up a shield is probably enough, right? Gonna shield. Okay, gonna look to control. So they're interesting. They're throwing and gonna reduce the farm on this, or for this Rungarius. Makes sense. Throwing a beautiful CMP. And here comes Diggersby. Awkward situation here, but this is kind of where you want to see it. And will they hyper beam? They will hyper beam. And they're gonna switch and then look to farm this all the way down. The Shadow Claws are double resisted, but these Sand Tombs are going to eventually add up. Will they add up to enough, though? But the Icy Wind, this is going to be an interesting endgame here. But I guess if you Icy Wind this, oh, this is actually going to be a super interesting endgame. We'll see if this Diggersby can endure. Because I guess you just need to make it to 2 Fire Punches or 2 Scorching Sands. Okay. If you have 2 Scorching Sands, this is game over, right? Because Psycho Boost is going to be enough to KO. Nope, no 2 Scorching Sands. And able to get to the Psycho Boost. And it is enough to take out the Diggersby. Really, really nice gameplay there. And, man, Wiggly and Fairthorn. Kind of a nightmare's team to deal with. And we see the Rungarigus come through again. Will we see an adjustment? And they come into Diggersby. But this Diggersby does not have Fire Punch. We already seen the moveset. It has Scorching Sand. And they actually end up shielding here. Makes sense. Gonna let this go. We already know the moveset. And this is actually still a very bad matchup for the Diggersby. This will do a lot of damage, but not enough to KO. And honestly, this won't KO either. So you might let this go. And you can still make it to another. Okay. Do you shield this here? Will shield. And we will see whether or not this Diggersby will shield or not. I don't think it will shield. But maybe it's confident it can mud shot down. A bunch of frame drops here. Will end up shielding and then come into Deoxys. But man, Wiggly up his shield is kind of nightmarish for here. And we'll get the farm down. I'm assuming we're going to see the switch. Going to bank the Psycho Boost. And I'm not sure about banking the Psycho Boost there, but we will see what's in the back. It is going to be the Man Time. I'm assuming you shield this one here. And look to Icy Wind. But this might be too much to deal with. This might be too much to deal with here. Let's see. They end up water pulsing here. Oh, able to... Okay. Able to get the farm down here. But this should be game over, right? There's no way unless you can double cycle. Is they Sand Tomb here? They will Shadow Ball. There's absolutely no way the Wiggly's going to survive the Shadow Call. Really nice attempt there. But this opponent overcoming a very difficult lead scenario. And we see Ferrothorn into Diggersby is an excellent lead. And I'm assuming the switch is going to try to be won at all costs. Gonna probably let this go, or certainly let this go. Like we already know that the moveset. And attack fall there might be consequential here. We'll see. You're not able to bullet C down regardless, so it might not matter, but we will see. And we see another move come through. It's gonna shield, wants to control the switch, and no attack drop, which means this power whip will KO. And gonna throw right away. Doesn't want to take another move. Do you gonna let this go? Gonna get Mud Shot down, and then kind of come into Deoxys. Look to counter all the way down. Maybe if they gonna counter. Oh, they do Hyper Beam here. Gonna counter down. Probably gonna look to Psycho Boost this Arungarigus, and gonna bank the move and then look to switch. Does some damage there, but we are gonna see again the Sand Tomb come through. Is this gonna be a repeat of the previous game? And we do see the Mantine coming through here. You have to shield this, right? Like, okay, gonna no shield the Aerial Ace. And gonna throw the Icy Wind right away. I guess okay. Gonna shield. And then you counter down. It is counter down here. There's no way, right? 1, 2. This debuff Psycho Boost is not enough here, right? There's no way. There's no way. No way, right? Am I crazy here? Let's see. It is enough. Oh my gosh, the debuff Psycho Boost is enough to win the game there. Man, that must have just barely KO'd, and we sent the Kofagrigus to its grave. Or Rungarigus, not Kofagrigus. Anyways, I guess it's in ruins right now. So, anyways, we'll go to the next round here. All right, we are in the final match here. All right, final match, and it's Alolan Ninetales, Cantonian Ninetales, Froslass, Charizard, Tapu Fini, and Kofagrigus. So, interesting. Double Ninetales. Is this even allowed? I guess so. And we will see. And it's actually Kofagrigus time instead of Rungarigus. And this lock-in is taking a little bit of time. All right, we're going to see Quillfish into Cantonian or Alolan Ninetales. And we will see how these two decide to play it out here. These charms are doing a lot of damage. And going up to the Sludge Wave. Throwing the move here. And then probably going to shield and farm down. They do throw the Weather Ball. And we're going to see a big farm down here. Big Poison Sting farm down. And it's actually an Ember Ninetales. This is interesting. And they actually decide to are we gonna see overheat? They will overheat. Does a lot of damage, and it's actually a Charizard. Okay, this team was triple weak to Quillfish. And in theory, this is game over here. Gonna throw the Stone Edge, but let's see. I guess there's okay. Yeah, the opponent decides to says this is over. And yeah, triple weak to Quillfish. That is crazy there. That is absolutely... that was interesting. Yes. Okay, we're going to see Quillfish into Cofagrigus. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense. And we're going to see it stay in. And going to throw the Aqua Tail at this Cofagrigus, and then going to switch out into Talonflame. Are we going to see a shield? No shield. No shield. And we see the Ninetales come through. And the Ninetales does have Ember, as we saw previously. And they decide to no shield. And this Ninetales will get a nice farm down. The question here is, are they running Scorching Sand? Or are they running... We already know they're running Overheat. They're running Weather Ball. Does a pretty decent amount. Gonna throw... Maybe potentially one shield farm all the way down, but... And then gonna switch out into Regirock. I have to shield something, right? And they do throw the Shadow Ball. Is this a Charizard in the back? Let's see. Stone Edge. We'll know it's Charizard if they shield or not, I guess. Shield this again. Do they bait? They will bait. Oh, it's actually a Ninetales. Charm Ninetales. And they will sack it. You switch here? No? Okay, gonna force this Cofagrigus to throw. Good timing there. The question is, will this Cofagrigus make it to another Dark Pulse before this Quillfish does? Oh, before the Quillfish actually poison stings it down. Nicely played. Very nicely played. And we are going to see Regirock into... Oof, this is actually a pretty... This is actually a very bad lead here. And going to throw the... It's on CMP for the Zap Cannon. And going to throw the Stone Edge. We will see whether or not this Tapu Fini will decide to shield. Does decide to shield. Are we going to see a catch? Oh, they actually throw the Zap Cannon. And they do get the debuff, which means that this Regirock might be able to make it to a Stone Edge. Very nicely timed. You'll let this go. Probably going to come in Quillfish. And we will see the switch out. And this is actually kind of a tricky situation here. Gonna Flame Charge. Maybe... But there's nothing that really beats this. They will Shadow Ball here. Oh, gets denied. Well, you have to shield us. They will Dark Pulse. And gonna throw the Aqua Tail. We'll see what comes in. It's actually going to be the Ninetales. It needs to throw the Sludge Wave, but man, is this Quillfish going to be in Nature Madness range? Or even Surf range? I think it's even in Surf range here. Yeah, this is definitely going to be enough. Quillfish is very glassy. Not very glassy, it's pretty glassy. And actually, it's Moonblast. This is Moonblast type of... Is this before the next season? I don't remember. But no, Nature Madness has been out for a while. Okay. Must not wanted to use a TM or something. Okay. It's actually an okay matchup. They actually come into... Interesting switching out here. Because the... Yeah, that's an interesting switch out. Do you let this go? Gonna let it go, and it calls the bait. Gonna shield. I'm gonna throw the Flame Charge right away. We'll see if they decide to shield. They will decide to shield. It must be a Tapu Fini in the back then, right? Oh, interesting. Gonna come in. This is kind of too much to. This is too much to poison thing down. Okay, I guess predicting that Regirock up shield can beat this entire team. It is a Tapu Fini. And I'm gonna Zap Cannon this Tapu Fini. This is quite the prediction here. Gonna look to Stone Edge this Frostlass. I assume you know Shield? No, I guess you outpace the Frostlass, right? And oh, well, you don't need to outpace the Frost. Stone Edge did a tremendous amount of damage there, and I believe that's the last game there. So nicely played. Actually, let me just double check there. It is the last match there. Nicely played tournament. Picking up. I think I only lost one game in the whatever 6 or 7 matches I showed there. So really nicely played. Congratulations, Vibe Guy, on the tremendous Great League draft victory. Again, check out the POGORAIDS Discord. I'm sure one of the moderators there will comment below on how to enter these type of drafts. All right. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.